Science can't be happening behind closed laboratory doors. We need to be bringing people to the table, understanding how our past experience as people on this planet can help us address problems that we face today. My name is Christina Douglas. I'm an assistant professor of anthropology and African studies at Penn State. Where I work in the southwestern Indian Ocean, food is scarce, water that is safe to drink is scarce, and increasingly, as we see climate change intensify, those problems are getting to be more and more acute. I grew up in the central highlands of Madagascar. I was adopted as a child. The feeling of being adopted is one of being a child who's taken in, and that's a really powerful way, I think, to develop connections. So to be able to come back as an archaeologist is really powerful for me because it reproduces, in a sense, the experiences that I've had growing up. So in Madagascar, we're working with what some call frontline communities. These are communities who are really experiencing the first really acute impacts of climate change. In the work that we're doing, we're trying to connect the dots in terms of adaptation and in terms of dealing with challenges like climate change in the past. And then we're trying to draw lessons from those different case studies all over the world that we can use to act differently as a global community in trying to address these challenges. Place-based knowledge is essentially the knowledge that accumulates over multiple generations as people live in a particular environment. They learn from it, they transmit that information from one generation to the next. A fisher who's on the team who has a lot of experience can teach us about how to prepare comparative skeletal specimens that we are going to use so that we can actually tell what we're looking at in the past. Even though a lot of members of the team are not literate, they all have tremendous knowledge. So that's why I think place-based knowledge is so important, because it really is that holds the key to addressing these questions that we otherwise would never be able to collect enough data to address. We're taking a step back as scientists, and we're inviting others to take a step forward, in this case specifically inviting community members. If there's one major impact that I would like to have in science and in the world, just as a human being and a member of society, it would be that science will become a much more robust field if we can develop and build on these approaches to inclusion.